You want to improve people's lives? I bet some people in here want to improve people's lives. Are you with me? Okay. Come on, people, let's wake up. We got the President of the United States in the house. Come on now. I know you got a little more energy than I hear. Okay, thank you very much. That's the crowd I know. Those are the people I represent. Okay, just wanted to make sure we're still here.
And so she was one of my biggest supporters in helping me not only pass, but draft and move some of the legislation we're going to talk about today, a couple pieces of it. And I don't have a greater friend in the United States Senate, and I don't have a greater friend when I was vice president, nor as president. So Debbie, thank you, kiddo. I don't know where you're sitting, but... And FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Assistance, is going door to door to reach people as well. Last time I was in Florida was almost a month ago because of Hurricane Ian. And they talk about inflation. You know, we're dealing with it for a whole second. Inflation is a worldwide problem right now because of a war in Iraq and the impact on oil and what Russia's doing. The war in Ukraine. And thinking of Iraq because that's where my son died. Because he died. I have a bad reputation.
Stop it. Stop it. I literally can't take it anymore. And according to The Hill, neither can Democrat leadership. There's buzz going on in D.C. that the Democrats are indeed beginning to panic. Not over the midterms. They know those are lost. No, over 2024. And we're going to see for ourselves precisely how the Democrats are considering a catastrophic solution to put away bumbling Biden once and for all. As you know, bumbling Biden gave a speech last night, and Jesse Waters summed up everything he had to say perfectly.
Thank you. Godspeed.
And so that was the President of the United States confessing that he's about to get wiped out a week from now. No one is going to question the results of this election, Mr. President, because it's going to be a blowout. It's not even going to be close.
Now, the problem for the Democrats is that they're recognizing that this disaster that looms for the midterms promises to be just a foretaste of the real disaster in 2024. And so this is why Merrill Matthews, a resident scholar with the Institute for Policy Innovation, just published a piece in The Hill openly asking the question as to whether leaders in Washington will invoke the 25th Amendment to remove Joe Biden from office. Now, if you don't know, the 25th Amendment provides the protocol for the transference of power whenever a sitting president is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office, which of course involves transferring that power to the sitting vice president. Oh my heavens, heaven help us. But more than that, it expressly states that the majority of the president's cabinet, his or her own appointees, must agree to the transfer. So that would require a full-blown Democrat leadership uprising against bumbling Biden. And what Matthews is openly surmising here is that the chances of that happening are increasing every single day. And he lists the obvious reasons for it. We frequently see Biden, after he's delivered a speech, wander off as if he doesn't know where he is or where he's supposed to go. Someone hurries over and takes his arm and points him in the right direction sometimes. At times he's lucid and in control, but at other times he seems baffled and confused. It's not unusual to see this behavior in older people, and Biden turns 80 this month. And so he goes on to suggest that the pressure to invoke the 25th Amendment on Biden is only going to get worse. Back in March, Tucker Carlson openly called for invoking the 25th against Biden after he openly called for regime change in Russia.
So Biden just said everything that he has said for the last week is true, and none of it has been corrected by people who work for him. The truth is, Joe Biden has no idea. Joe Biden has no idea what his publicists say when he goes to sleep. Then midway through his answer, Biden starts walking back his own comments. He does that just minutes after saying he would never walk back his own comments. None of that occurred, Biden said. Look, it feels almost like we're being mean to the guy by quoting him, and no one wants that. No one is making fun of his age or his diminished condition, only trying to defend the country. Then moments later, Biden declared that no reasonable person would think he wants regime change in Russia. Watch this if you can stand it.
Because it's ridiculous. Nobody believes we're going to take down. I was talking about taking down Putin. Nobody believes that.
All right, joke's over. Too much is at stake. If there was ever a time, if there was in U.S. history ever a time to invoke the 25th Amendment, it is now. As Joe Biden himself put it, for God's sakes, this man cannot remain in power.
Now, just weeks before that segment, the former physician to Presidents Trump and Obama, Ronnie Jackson, who's now a representative for the great state of Texas, he spoke on behalf of 40 GOP colleagues who called on Biden to take a cognitive screening exam. So Jackson, as a professional physician, has said overtly that clearly something's not right with Biden. He's clearly exemplifying mental decline and forgetfulness that are only getting worse. And he was clearly mentally unfit for the job of President of the United States. And again, that was 8 months ago. That was before Biden started getting lost on stage. Now it's obvious to everyone, especially the international media. Wait until you see what they have to say about all of this. But first, gang, I've got some free gifts I want to give to you, especially in light of the fact that we are about to hit 1 million subscribers, and it's all because of you. Make sure to click on that link below and get my personal research resources for free at drsteveblueprints.com. With these midterms coming up, I want you to be equipped and informed with resources free from all the woke, lamestream media propaganda. My free guide on all the news sources that I trust will become your antidote to fake news this season. I've also compiled several of my simple blueprints and personal resources that'll help you destroy woke liberal culture in your daily life. Yours absolutely free, but that's for a limited time, so don't wait. Click on that link below right now. The international media is openly writing about Biden's obvious cognitive degeneracy. Look at some of these headlines. This is from the British Times. Joe Biden's gaffe fuels claims of cognitive decline. Or the British Express. Biden faces fresh fears over cognitive decline after Putin cannot remain in power speech. Piers Morgan is openly stating that Biden is obviously showing increased signs of age-related cognitive decline. Obviously, there's a pattern here. And one pattern to note is how quiet our own American legacy media has been with regard to this. They won't even broach the issue. But the genie's out of the bag. And so it's no surprise that the 25th Amendment is being openly considered here. And now even The Hill is publishing pieces on it. Now, it might work out in a very interesting way. In view of the fact that the vast majority of Democrats do not want another Biden term, word on the street is that there's most likely going to be what Matthews calls a full court press by Democratic leaders to convince Biden not to run for re-election. Now, how successful that effort will be, of course, is anyone's guess. Biden may not concede to that. And so that's where the 25th Amendment comes in. Again, according to Matthews, if Democratic leaders feel Biden isn't up to running again, they could use the 25th Amendment provision as a leverage to get him to agree. In other words, one way or another, Joe, you ain't running again. So that's the way the 25th Amendment may be utilized here as leverage to get Biden to, at the very least, back out on his own of the 2024 election. Of course, we'll have to see. But it is growing increasingly clear. Fewer and fewer people take Biden seriously. That speech last night was beyond cringe. And as Jesse Waters pointed out, it was nothing more than one massive admission that the Democrats are about to lose everything. If they don't want the same thing to happen in 2024, they are absolutely going to have to find someone else to run. And they may have to take drastic steps to ensure just that. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on how woke James Corden has just absolutely destroyed his reputation. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to click on that link, and I will see you over there. God bless.